Welcome, everyone. You are about to embark on a journey through the universe as you indulge in this extraordinary essence of enlightened, empowered, evolved. Let the show begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Just in time. Greetings, everyone. I'm Luke Bryan Smith, and welcome to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. I know everyone's doing well and everything is unfolding perfectly. I'm excited yet again, and you know why. Because I have another amazing, extraordinary guest who graduated from International Quantum University for Integrative Medicine with a degree of Doctorate and PhD in Natural Medicine. Wow. Prior to this, she became a regulated pharmacy technician registered through the British Columbia College of Pharmacists and was certified by the Pharmacy Examination Board of Canada. Wow, that's amazing. And just so much more. And she also owned 3 successful pharmacies in Canada for 8 years, a wellness spa in Canada for 6 years, and now operates a Medi-Wellness spa in Florida, focusing on mind, body, and spirit modality, inner health, along with outer beauty. That's amazing. Just so much. But without further ado, I introduce to you Dr. Helen Tong.
Hi, everyone.
Yes. How are you doing today, Dr. Helen Tong?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you. And thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. It is my pleasure. And thank you for agreeing to be on the podcast. And I'd like to say before we get started that I'm a firm believer that time is one of our most precious assets. And for you to spend some of your time here with me on Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved, I just want to extend again my sincerest gratitude to you.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I love your work.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. And let's just get right into it, doctor. Graduated from International Quantum University. I've never heard of that university. Could you give us a little just backstory on just how that came about, that you went to that university and the direction that you decided to take? Just a little bit.
So it's a very funny story, but I basically come from a pharmacy industry.
Right.
And I decided that I wanted to do more of holistic alternative medicine, just because understanding the void and the preventative medicine it's much greater and much important to fulfill. And at one of my events that I was doing self-development, personal training, I met up with the dean of that university.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yeah, and we had a conversation at dinner, and she's like, I'm like, oh, I'm looking into doing this. And she's like, oh, well, why don't you join the university? So the university was founded by an MD that actually is from Montreal. And he basically moved to Hawaii, Honolulu,
Right.
and created and founded this university. And it's all focused on integrative alternative medicine. So a lot of the students are actually nurses, they're doctors, they're MDs from all different walks of life who are interested in adding that perspective of healing in their journey.
Right.
And what Quantum University is all about. It's in Honolulu, and it was a great program, and lots of good information, and that really grown me into more of a mind, body, spirit, and understanding that when we have different layers of healing, and when the physical is already happening, well, it's happening way deeper, and that could be stuck in your mental, your supramental. It could be stuck because the mind creates its meaning.
Right.
And the meaning is actually created based on our blueprint. It's created based on, what we know best. And you can be given the same information as I have been given the same information, but my interpretation will be different than yours because it depends on which lens I'm looking into it, right?
Right. Your perspective, basically.
Your perspective. Yeah.
Yes.
But that's what I learned, all of those wonderful things at that university.
Oh, wow. That's absolutely amazing. And how long did you attend the university, if I might
So
ask?
the total amount of time to get my PhD doctorate was 5 years.
Oh, 5 years. Wow. That's amazing. And that's truly amazing how that unfolded, that it didn't happen on accident. It was meant to happen that way, that you connected with the dean of the school and then an invitation was extended to you. So that was the universe perfectly orchestrating that for you. Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I believe that things happens for you
Right.
and not to you.
Right.
And nothing is coincidental.
Absolutely.
It's all been, and we have the power and the ability to manifest things.
Right.
And the mind is so powerful,
Powerful.
so powerful.
Right.
And when we set that energy and the intention that we send out there, and we tell the universe what we want, and we're clear on it,
Right.
then we just get it. It just
Not-
manifests itself.
yes. Not only with words, if I might add to that,
Mhm.
but just like you said, energy with our intentions, with our feelings, with our thoughts, and we draw those things into us, or whatever it may be. But that's amazing also that you touched on the point that I really connect with is we see things through different lenses. And I am a firm believer that life is perspective. That's a big part of life because, like you said, everybody doesn't see or interpret everything the same way. And depending upon, in my perspective, what level we're on as far as consciousness and awareness can decipher which way we see things. So that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yep. See,
Yes.
vibrational, it's everything is about frequency, it's everything is about energy. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
even I don't know, any a parasite has its a mold, anything has its own frequencies.
Right. Right.
So
Absolutely.
the frequency is so important. So what kind of frequency are you putting yourself out there? What
Yes.
are you vibrating at this moment, right? It's
Right.
like us. We met each other and found each other somehow for a
Right.
reason and for a purpose. There's always
Right.
a reason. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we know that reason because I believe that everyone, or I know, I, a lot of times I'll use belief, but I have a new saying now, a new philosophy now that a lot
Mhm.
of things that I've graduated from believing. Now, belief is very powerful, and I'm not
Mhm.
trying to undermine that, but I say I graduate to knowing. And what I mean by that is just knowing from the compass within to be true or
Mhm.
from experience. So just
Yeah.
like you just said, knowing that we connected for a reason for you to add some of your value to what I'm doing and hopefully vice versa. But amazing. And I never doubted anymore. I used to, but not any longer because
Mhm.
even at the last minute, things can not happen and I embrace it. I embrace everything that happens. If
Mhm.
it was meant to be, whatever's meant to be drawn to me, I'm going to draw it. And
Mhm.
no one can stop that. And I honestly believe in the power that we have, the power of the universe, God within us, that
Mhm.
anything that is any encounter that's meant to be in my experience is going to unfold in that way. And that's just all there is to it. So, even we were going to meet last week, but we had a few different things in the scheduling. I didn't doubt it one bit. We'll make it happen. It's meant to be, then we're going to end up engaging in a high vibrational dialogue. So
Mhm.
that's amazing. Can you give us a little bit of insight on I've never, and I only want to hear this, not only, but I want to hear this because I've never met anyone that has owned a pharmacy. Can you give us just a bit backstory on that? How did that end up happening? And how was it, the experience owning a pharmacy?
Well, okay, so I used to be a pharmaceutical sales rep.
Right.
And I went around and my territory, I'm from Canada, I'm from Vancouver, BC.
Okay.
And I have a very personal touch with all of my customers.
Right.
And one day I just came into one of my customer and I said, "Hi, how are you?" And, just talking. Most of the time I'm talking about their dog, their cat, their family, their life, more
Right.
than selling anything. And that relationship I have with people is what they come back and think about me, and
Right.
they
Right.
come and purchase from me. And this is how it's been working for me all the time.
Yes.
So she basically just shared to me, so and so Rexall wants to buy my store. And I looked at her and I said, "You're selling?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm actually retiring. I'm like 70 something. I need to retire." So I said, "Oh, okay." So we just kind of have that funny intuition look that I was looking at her, she was looking at me, and she's looking at me, she's asking me, "Why are you asking? Do you want to buy my store?" So
Right.
that's how it started.
Oh,
And
okay.
and I
Again,
I just yeah,
see,
I just
excuse my interruption, but again,
yeah.
see how you already know, but I'm just saying this for people that are listening and to just reaffirm it myself. Look how things just unfold. Okay, Dr. Helen, keep going. You got us on edge now.
So then I said, "Yeah." Like I wasn't, my intention was not to say yes, but it just naturally just came to me. And I
Right.
said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I just went ahead and we went through the full process. So I owned my first pharmacy.
Oh, wow.
And at the time it was in 2008.
Okay.
And it's an amazing story because when it's meant to be, like you said, it's meant to be.
Right.
And when the universe is going to decide that you are going to be in that shoes at that moment, it's just going to happen. So
Absolutely.
in 2008, there was a huge crash. Nobody is lending money, let alone lending money for you to buy a business and dream, right?
Wow.
So I basically went through the bank. I actually went to 3 different banks and I didn't give up. And I think that's the most important part that people need to understand, is to not to give up and to believe in the process and
Right.
believe that when things are meant to be, it's going to happen,
Happen.
right?
Right. Right. I'm saying
So,
that
so
with
on
you.
the,
That's
yeah,
what,
so on the
yes.
third bank, you won't believe it. Not only they said to me, "Yes, we're going to give you 100%." Sorry, my cat is like in demand here.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Um,
That's real life. Real life.
and it's not only they said, "Oh, we're going to give you 100% of the financing to purchase the business, but
Right.
hey, I think you should get an extra X amount of dollars to operate the business." So not
Wow.
only they funded 100% of
Percent.
my purchase, they
Right.
funded also on top of it my operation business.
Right.
So that's how I was able to get into this pharmacy. And I basically didn't put a single cent. I put sweat equity. The bank, I utilized OPM, and the bank basically said yes to me in 2008.
Wow.
And then since then, I grew from 1 pharmacy to 2 pharmacy to 3 pharmacies. And
Wow.
my experience with it, it was very fruitful because I was dealing with the mental health and addiction services.
Hmm.
So I
Wow.
was helping the homeless people. I was helping a different category. I wasn't kind of like the drug pusher, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but I
Right.
was more kind of like helping people to to be in a better position so that they're not turning into drug street.
Right. That's amazing.
That's my experience. So it was very fruitful and it was very good, but it was kind of like very demanding, and there was a lot of work involved, and I had an opportunity to get out of it, so I did. And that's how my experience was with the pharmacies industry.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you for sharing that your testimony and brief summary on owning a pharmacy. And again, it just amazes me again that how it just sort of fell in your lap and the
Mhm.
universe hooked that up, because you must have had some kind of intentions in there somewhere, that some kind of frequency you sent out and the universe picked up on it and
Mhm. Yeah.
made it happen. Like you said, you didn't even have to put a cent down, and it happened.
Yep.
And the what I gather also that I picked up from you is your mindset and the type of love and compassion that you have, that you specifically mentioned that you weren't in the business just to turn people into druggies and push drugs on them. You wanted
Mhm.
to really help them in ways, and that's amazing. Because oftentimes when we hear about, pharmaceuticals and things like that, we hear the opposite. Well, in my perspective, I can't speak for everyone, but then we
Mhm.
hear that, okay, they just want to, of course, business is for profit, but at the same time, if you have someone such as yourself that actually cares
Mhm.
and is connected and through love, tr- really intending on helping people, that makes a big difference. The same
Mhm.
with doctors. There are, and I'm not here to scrutinize or to place blame on anyone, because I believe just life just has contrast all over. So even negativity and positivity is all perspective as well.
Mhm.
So there's certain doctors that may be more apt to want to put you on medications, and some want to help you in holistically, even though it
Mhm.
may benefit them financially to have you, get this pharmacy. I've encountered both. So
Mhm.
I just think it's so amazing when someone such as yourself is involved in something like that. So that's amazing. So let's move forward. What do you have going on in Florida now that I mentioned you have a holistic, a wellness business? What is that entitled, and how did that come about? I don't want to ask too many questions. How did that come about? The name of the business, how did it come about? What does it entail? And how's the experience, ups and downs, going now?
So, I'm a Canadian. So, in order for me, I decided after the pandemic whole thing,
Right,
I decided that, what is valuable for me? Where do I want to be in life? Where do I want to,
right.
And I believe that a lot of us has gone through that question and realizing how important life is, and who do we want to have around us?
Absolutely.
And in about 4 years ago, I found that I was adopted, and I found my, I guess, my biological family.
Oh, wow.
And I realized that they're all in the United States. And during the time where, as Canadian, we were locked down for a long period of time, and it was kind of very difficult for us to travel. And I missed a couple of my family reunion, let's call it that way. So I decided that, hey, I'm tired of Vancouver being the rainy, and I wanted to go into somewhere sunny. So I decided to go to the sunshine, state, which is Florida.
Okay.
And when I set my intention that I wanted to come here, I just made it happen, right?
Of course you did.
So I came here. I was looking for businesses, and I was looking for opportunity. And in order for me as a Canadian, I have the ability to invest basically into the United States at a certain amount.
Right.
And I looked for a business, an existing business. So it's easier for me because then the application has kind of history of that business. So I purchased this business, and I inherited the blue indigo kind of name of the business, and I added the word wellness to it because I didn't want to make a huge change. I wanted to keep the people, I wanted to keep the clientele. I didn't want to make a huge kind of like, whoa, right? What happened?
Right.
So when I purchased the business, it originally was just a regular spa. So I converted into a medi spa. So I added more medical aspect to it, but I do things a little bit differently. So I have a component that I added in, which is the wellness component, where I do a little bit of more deeper healing.
Right.
And yes, it's important to have the outer beauty, but whatever comes outside, it's from the inside.
Right.
And then what also it's from the inside, it's from the upper. So we have different layers, right? Like you said, we have different, how can I say, dimensional of healing.
Okay.
So we have, the supramental,
Right.
where we're connected to the higher up, which is your crown chakra. You have your mental, which is what your mind creates. And then that can create the different other layers where it becomes the physical. So I try to tell people, and most of the time I tell them, I said, whatever happens on the outside, if you have a skin rash, well, the skin rash is developed either you ate something wrong, you got into some sort of a chemical that you reacted to, or mainly you just got so stressed out.
Right. I've seen that happen.
And it's appearing on your skin, right? So that's part of the component that I find that is very important. So my tagline is inner health and outer beauty, and the two needs to balance.
Yes. Yes, I totally agree. Yes.
And it's just like, we live in the world of duality, right?
Right.
So it's the yin and the yang, and has to be that balance. And so that's how it happened. And I've been, I guess, operating this particular, the location has been around when I took it over for 4.5 years. I've been operating it for a year and a half.
Right.
And I'm having new things that I'm adding in now. I'm going to be focusing more on the his and hers, and it's going to be an interesting new things that I'm going to be adding in and be able to help more people with their hormones and their testosterones and all of that. So that's coming up soon.
That is amazing, and I want to get back and talk about that because I want to, while we're here, to tell people how they can find information about that and all that. But I just have to say this. I don't want to say, let me rephrase that. I would like to say this. From just listening to you, what you are affirming to me, and I hope I can highlight this and that other people can grasp this as well. You are a prime example of flow, and you'll see where I'm going with this. Because oftentimes in life, we can become fixated on one thing. We can become afraid to move. We can focus so much on one thing and get so used to how certain things are that we don't want to even think about changing. But what you have shown is that whatever your interests, your desires, whatever your intuition tells you, whatever whatever deep down inside, you're willing to go in that direction. And it could be a few years here, a couple years here, whatever. But you're showing flow and fluidity and openness to change and not being like, there's certain concepts that we can grasp a hold to, or certain ideas that we can grab a hold to, and I'm just using this as an analogy, like say like a rock or whatever. You're holding onto that rock. And what I'm saying is that you can hold on to it, but don't hold on it so tightly that you don't let anything else in,
Mhm.
any other things that can accent that rock. Or, I'm using that rock as an idea because there's things that you can say, well, I'm pretty sound with this idea or with this intention, but allow it, hold on to it loose enough to allow other ideas to flow in. And I hope you get what I'm saying. You're you,
Mhm.
you're not just stuck in your
Yep.
thinking. Okay, you have
Mhm.
where most of us, or a lot of us, I can say most because I don't know most, but a lot of us was just said, okay, we got the successful pharmacy. We'll just stay here. No, you're ready to go on to the next,
Mhm.
and that's in real time. You are just through your life, and you you are showing us, that idea right there is that we don't have to be fixed. And what life is about, period, is change and flow, and
Mhm.
nothing stays the same, you know?
Yep.
Yes, so that's amazing. I just had to
Mhm.
highlight that, because and I hope I didn't make it too complicated the way I explained it,
Mhm.
but yes, just wow, just being open to just other things and ideas and other possibilities. And as you focus in on these other possibilities, things open up in that direction, whatever direction
Mhm.
that you project your energy and your thoughts and your focus on. Okay, that's fine. And then yes,
Mhm.
and even
Yeah.
what you have going on now, you're you're focusing on adding more elements and just beautifully. It doesn't seem like, and I know behind the scenes things can be stressful. I understand that, but
Yeah.
the way that you are expressing it, it's very calm and assuring that this is what I'm doing and I'm adding this and I'm adding that. Not, oh my gosh, and I hope this works. And no, you can do that behind the scenes. Sometimes we do. But I think that you have tapped into a flow that you already know pretty much that how things unfold and the power that you have,
Mhm.
so that's great to show myself and everyone that's listening in or watching, giving us an example of how this works. And it's amazing. And I appreciate it very much. So, yes, back to that. While we're here, how can people find out more about what you have going on now, your wellness center? Do you have a website that you could share with us or
Yeah,
anything? Yes.
absolutely. So is the website is www.blue, BLU, indigo. So INDIGO spa.com. So blueindigospa.com.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. And I will be sure, and I'm certain that you sent that to me so that I can incorporate that into the description of this segment as well. But for
Yeah.
those that are just listening right now, they can get that. That's why I always like to have my guests say it audibly for just those that are just listening. But that's amazing. So I look forward to hearing what you do next and what you add next, and hopefully can have you back on here again to talk about the
Absolutely.
next thing that you've
Absolutely.
you've manifested and would like to showcase or share. Because I don't look at it as showing off, and I'm just using this as an analogy. I look at it as example, an
Mhm.
example to people and a motivation to people. Look, our minds are powerful. Everything is like you said, vibration. We have these frequencies that we tap into. And
Mhm.
oftentimes I've been in this position too, where I'm focusing more on the things that I feel that don't harmonize with myself, or that
Mhm.
I have allowed to irritate, or I don't like. And what we have to realize is that that's what you draw more of to you. Whatever you're tapping into, whatever you're focusing on, whatever you continuously speak about, whatever you continuously think about, that's more of the along the lines of the frequencies and the scenarios and circumstances that you draw
Mhm.
to you. And
Mhm.
what I've learned now is everything, even within flaws, everything is perfect. So I do think of things sometimes that don't bring me harmony, but now I attach a solution to it to put an end to it.
Mhm.
So now I'm like, okay, I don't like that. Okay, why don't it? Why is this? And then learn from it
Mhm.
and be
Yeah.
the observer. But yes, amazing. So before we conclude this segment, is there anything else you would like to share? Anything you got coming up, or just want to leave us with anything? Motivational, leave us with one of your quotes or something.
I think what people need to realize is that things always will happen. And
Right,
when sometimes things that happens in a not so positive way that we want it,
right,
doesn't mean that we have to um, fall down and not get back up. Because the important part is, as long as you fall down and you learn to not make that mistake again and be able to get up and just continue and not give up. And I think that is very important for people to understand, because I always continue no matter what happens to me. I have a vision, and once that vision is there, no matter what kind of cloud comes along, and clouds are always going to be there. And that's part of the life. That's part of the spice that life gives us, right? Because otherwise it'll be so boring if it was so easy. And
right,
it's part of learning. It's part of learning. And as long as we say it is a journey, it's a learning process, then just play with it, just enjoy it. And
right,
that's what I want to leave with.
right. That's amazing. And if I might add a little bit to that, is you inspired me to say this. Even within that goal or that intentions that we have, it's who we become on the way to that goal that's we have to really observe, because all these things that you said, like you said, that may happen to us, they shape us into something if we allow it to, if we embrace that and know it.
Mhm.
And at the end, when you come out the other side, you're going to be more knowledgeable, more resilient, and just so many things. I don't even want to go down the list. I can't possibly think of everything that it could transform you into, but I am learning that more and more as I expand and grow through life, that things that happen to me are actually happening for me. And at the
Mhm.
particular time, I may not understand, but now I can say that I have the tools to slow myself down and observe it enough where I know something. I know it may be difficult. I might perceive it as difficult right now, but after this is over, this is going to propel me. I'm still, like you said, I'm still going to accomplish what my intentions and what my focus is, no matter what.
Mhm.
So that's
Yeah.
amazing. So I'd just like to thank you again very much, Dr. Helen, for adding value to this platform to Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved. And just thank you for telling us a bit about yourself and your journey. And I send you just love and appreciation, and continue to do what you're doing and being an inspiration to us all. And thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. And thank you everyone for listening and or watching. Be sure to check out the website, Enlightened, Empowered, Evolved website at 333empower.com. Shoot an email to 333empower@gmail.com if you think you'd be a nice guest for the show. Also, yeah, that's it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on that YouTube. Leave comments, questions, Spread the video, share it, help the platform grow, help us create more content like this, help get this message out to people, encourage. It's all about enlightening and empowering and evolving and inspiring humanity. That's what my mission is. That's what my intentions are. And that's why I align with people who have similar intentions. Thank you very much. Love and appreciation. Enlighten, Empowered, Evolve. See you soon.